conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping
You know my name yet?
and Anthony Lionheart Smith.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Michael Bisping, the one and only Paul Felder, the Iron Lung, UFC 310 preview. We've got Bryce Mitchell joining us. We've got Brendan Loughnane joining us. We've got non-MMA stories. We've got MMA stories. We've got it all. But how the hell are you, Paul?
I'm well, Michael. How's the neck, my friend?
Oh, stop it. Nobody wants to hear that. Nobody. I said to myself on the way here, because I was at the gym, I was like, not going to mention the neck on the podcast. The neck is shit, okay? It's shit, but it is what it is. It's all good. Do you know what's bothering me more than any necks? I went to a Thai restaurant last night. I came out. There was an Escalade parked outside. It had a wreath attached to what you guys call the hood. We would say the bonnet. Yeah. And I'm like, bro, it's the 1st of December. Really? Wreaths, Christmas carols, music. There's a dude in our neighborhood. Check this out. There's a dude in our neighborhood, and they must be the laziest bastards because we drive past their house all the time. They always have the tree. They never take the tree down. We came back last night, all year. This is not a lie. We drove past last night. The tree is gone. It's been up all year and they've taken it down at Christmas. But how do you feel about the pre-Christmas vibe? It's a little early for me.
Oh my God. Yeah. We got started pretty early here. Christine started decorating pre-Thanksgiving, which is, I think, the first year that we've started doing that before we've even cut a turkey. And now, there's no insane amount of decorations, but it's already started. We even down here in the basement, we've got a little mini Christmas tree that lights up. We've got the Christmas tree up in the living room that lights up. We've got wreaths everywhere. It has begun, Michael. My mom has already done all of her shopping, which only makes me feel like a bag of shit because I haven't done not a one thing. Not a one thing.
I'm a bad family member. I have family. I have so many nieces and nephews that I love dearly. I never even send a card.
Yeah.
I don't even send a card. I'm sorry. I'm not good. I've never been organized that stuff. I'll show up. I'll give them gifts. I'll entertain them.
I'll give you an envelope of cash.
But I'll give you cash.
Thinking ahead of time.
But I ain't going down the post office and writing a card. Rebecca, Christmas cards this year. Anyway, how was your Thanksgiving, Paul?
It was very good. Yeah, we went to my uncle's house. There was like 20-some people there, a bunch of family members, cousins, same thing. Some people couldn't make it. My older brother couldn't make it this year. Got really sick. So I haven't seen him in a while. So that was unfortunate, but it was good. It was good. What'd you guys do?
I mean, we don't have any family here, so it's literally just the Bisping. So, sad little gathering. We all cried into our steaks and our turkey. And
miserable. Sounds miserable.
We had a lovely day. Callum's girlfriend was over as well. So there were 6 of us. It was nice. We ate too much. And that's about that. But anyway, who cares? Let's get into the show. I don't think Mike Harrington's here yet. We'll have to have a talk with Mike. Jeez Louise. Late every time.
I've done this show enough now where I just see the inconsistency and the tardiness and,
And when he does jump on, he'll be muted. We know this.
Right off the bat, he's not going to be able to talk. I look like a freaking ghost, Michael. I look like a ghost, and it's my basement lighting. And I will fix this by the next time that we talk to each other on this show. This show deserves more respect, Michael.
Well, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm like, Jesus, Paul, come on.
I didn't want to say anything, Paul, but you do look horrible, I must say.
Now, I'm going to lay it on you. We have got some guests joining us, but it's UFC 310 at this Saturday. I don't think fine. I'm going to be there with my wife in the crowd enjoying it. Are you working it in any capacity?
I am not. I will be sitting my ass right over there watching it on the couch, which is when I'm not working, my favorite place to be. Yeah, I'll have a few beers.
So we can predict, we can offend people, we can say people are going to lose.
We can talk all the trash on these guys.
God, because you got to be careful.
I'm going to go in hard.
If you say someone's going to lose, you got to be careful.
They will message us.
If you say someone's a sore loser, I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, no.
Jamal Hill.
Oh. Did he comment to you?
He did. He came at me on Twitter. I'm not talking shit. I've got nothing but love for Jamal. I think he's tremendous. I think he's a great guy. He's misunderstood. He's angry. He's mad. We were talking about him and we said that he was a little bit of a sore loser, but that's beneficial to a fighter. Anyway, here's what he did. He said, Bisping calling me a sore loser and talking shit about us men on losing is the craziest shit to me ever. Bro, you've been crying and salty about Dan Henderson for 20 years, Vitor Belfort for 15 years. You think that spending half of your career losing, you would know how to do it by now.
Wow.
I know. That one hurt. That hurt a little bit.
That's rough.
I'm like, Jamal, come on, bro.
Half your career. Jeez.
Jesus Christ, bro. Don't double down on it, Paul.
And we talked about it a little last time. I think he's a great fighter. I think he may come back really strong. We see it too often now. Guys really do get we're even seeing it from John Jones right now. He's coming back at all the people that are saying, oh, he's ducking, and he keeps doubling down on his stance on not wanting to take the fight, why he shouldn't have to take the fight. And you just let these people, you think at this level of the game, when you've had this much exposure, this much experience, we're talking champions here. We're not talking some guy making his debut who's getting insulted, who, haven't built up the thick skin yet. Jamal's been a champion. He's fought some of the bigger names. John Jones, the greatest of all time. And they still get bothered by what people are saying on social media. And I get it. I've seen the things that get said to you. I know the things that have been said to me. And at this stage in the game, you got to just let shit slide off your back a little bit, man, and just take the criticism, put it in here, and prove everybody wrong.
Well said. Bravo. Because, I take it all with a pinch of salt. It's like water off a duck's back to me at this point. I've had so much shit over the years. These days, for the most part, it's complimentary shit. But the negativity, that doesn't bother me. It did bother me a little bit from Jamal because I respect Jamal, I think he's obviously just misunderstood me. So that's why I said to him, let me just read my tweet out. I said, did you watch what I said or did you read a shitty headline? If it's a headline, I'll accept your apology, smiley face. I said, you were a bit of a sore loser because you're a true competitor. I then went on to explain how if that energy is channeled correctly, it can be beneficial to a fighter's mindset. I wasn't talking shit. I was being nice. Didn't have you down as the easily offended type. Have a great camp. I'm not trying to talk shit about Jamal. We weren't talking shit. We weren't talking shit, No. Taking losses personally and fueling you, that's what you're supposed to do as a fighter. Yeah, it's all well and good. You want to be a sportsman. You want to be respectful and all the rest of it. But you also want that fire inside you to say, I am going to right these wrongs. I am going to get my belt back. I am going to get revenge, vengeance, whatever you want to call it. So if that's how you fuel yourself, more power to you. Just go out, have a great camp, and best of luck against Yuri.
Yeah. I mean, the more time you spend letting all that stuff get in your head, it means you're distracted. It means you're thinking more about the opinions of what people are thinking about you rather than taking that, using it in the gym and trying to get better. And it blows my mind. I mean, you see it with you see all of us. Cormier's constantly getting called out on social media for something that he said. And that's his job now. His job is to talk about the sport. Our job is to talk about this sport. We're not saying we're any better than you. We've had our, we had our careers, we had our ups and our downs. We know that. I'm not saying that I haven't had fights where maybe something went this way or that way and shouldn't have maybe panned out the way it did, but he is worried so much. And I'm buddies with him. I have no problem with him, but he's got to get over the ref stepping in. Wait until you get your chance again and then show us how it should have went down. We know you think you were going to win, but it's not how it played out. It's just not how it played out.
If Harrington was here, he could give us the lowdown on that story. Is Harrington here, Brian? Is he here? I'm assuming he is by now. I mean,
yeah, I'm here. What's up, guys?
Oh, he's not muted. My man.
Not muted.
My dude.
What is Jamal talking about now? I saw you put something in the notes, and we're not trying to shit talk. And as I said, I'm not clapping back at Jamal. Far from it. I like the guy. He's a tremendous fighter as well. But what has he been saying? Because you put something in the notes.
Well, I have here that, you know, he's gone off on everybody. You know, he was saying, first and foremost that, you know, Yuri got dominated when he fought Poatan versus, you know, himself, who just got caught. Then he tried to blame it on Herb Dean. He said that, you know, Pereira was able to advance when Herb Dean was stepping in for the timeout. He said Herb stepped behind him. That caused him a bit of a distraction. So he's putting the loss on you know, everyone and everything other than his own abilities. And he said he hopes Yuri wears that same ponytail up in the air so that he too can beat it to the left side of his head, just like Pereira did too.
But so like, it's easy for people to scoff on social media and talk shit about that. But this is kind of what I was saying. I mean, and you could say that's being a sore loser. Keep that energy, because that energy, that chip on your shoulder is going to fuel him through the training camp. That's going to make you get out of bed at 6 a.m. in the morning. I don't know where he lives, Michigan or somewhere, Grand Rapids. I know that's where he's from. Freezing cold there. He's fighting in January, I believe. It's freezing cold. That's going to get you out of bed and say, fuck it. Put the sweater on, put that beanie on, and go for that run. Do the extra rounds because you're pissed off, because you feel disrespected, because you feel that the world is maybe against you. The reality is it isn't. But whatever it takes that fuels you, fair play, harness the energy. That's all you got to do. Anyway, all right, this episode is sponsored by Beam Greens. Look, do you ever feel tired? Do you ever feel generally low? Do you ever feel that you're just not doing your best? Well, maybe your nutrition is lacking, okay? Nutrition deficiencies can leave you feeling tired, prone to illness, and just generally malaise. Over time, these compounding systems can compromise your overall health and hurt your performance in and out of the gym. That's where Beam Greens can help. If you don't incorporate enough greens into your diet, it can lead to poor sleep and lower energy. Highlight the correlation between adequate nutrition, enhanced focus, and overall quality of life. Listen, you've got to get the goodness in. And in this modern day, you're working, you get out of bed, maybe you go to the gym, you go to work, you squeeze in a snack in here and there, you come home at night, maybe you cheat, you order a pizza, whatever the case may be. It's hard to get all the adequate nutrition that the body requires. And that's where something like Beam Greens is absolutely essential. Because first of all, let me tell you, it tastes amazing. I've got the strawberry kiwi flavor in my hand right now. This stuff is delicious. A lot of the green powders, when you drink them, they're not good. Let's just say that. It feels like you're drinking a green powder. Well, Beam Greens, the strawberry kiwi, you slap a little bit of ice in there, you're off to the races. It's actually a delicious little drink. And you're getting so much nutrition because it's packed with 14 essential greens. Beam Greens was recently rated the #1 best tasting greens powder by the New York Post. The unique blend contains wheatgrass, chlorella, and kale, plus mushrooms, adaptogens, antioxidants. It helps to address nutrient gaps and support immune function and overall health. And Beam Greens tastes, as I say, like a strawberry kiwi dessert, making it possible to actually enjoy getting your daily greens. And right now, of course, it's Cyber Monday. And the best part is that Beam's Cyber Monday sale is now live. This is Beam's biggest sale of the year and the lowest price that they have sold Beam Greens for. Get up to 50% off when you visit shopbeam.com/believe. Use the code BELIEVE at checkout. Get your greens at the lowest price. Get the nutrition at the lowest price. Get the beautiful strawberry kiwi at the lowest price before they sell out. Head over to the shop, beam.com/believe. Enter the code BELIEVE. That's shopbeam.com/believe and use the code BELIEVE for up to 50% off. We're going to make some picks. We're going to talk about some fights. We've got the final pay-per-view of the year, real quick. And Brian and Harrington, jump in if you have something as well. Biggest moment, what do you think, of 2024?
Oh, my God.
I'm putting you on the spot. I apologize.
I mean, the one that, and recency bias, I'm sure, but I would say Ilia Topuria finishing Max in Abu Dhabi was probably up there on some of the biggest that I've ever seen. I mean, every fighter that was asked, everybody was picking Max based on how he looked, and Ilia just went out there and just kept that same energy that he said he would. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. He went out to the center of that octagon. He pointed right to the floor and then systematically just started to gain control in that fight. And that was definitely a strong, confident Max Holloway that he beat that night. He went out there. He was on another winning streak. He looked fantastic. He was scoring early, but then Ilia's power again just took over. So for me, just right now, I'm sure we'll talk about it. You'll say one, then I'll be like, oh, that was one. But for right now, I would say Ilia Topuria regaining and keeping his belt and knocking out Max Holloway for the first time in Max Holloway's career is that one stands out to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's a solid choice. I asked that. It's not like I've thought about this because I haven't got one lined up ready to go. This whole storyline with John Jones has kind of dominated all year. At the start of the year, we had 2 heavyweight champions. At the end of the year, we still got 2 heavyweight champions. At the start of the year, we had 0 Georgian champions. Now we've got 2 Georgian champions. O'Malley was the champ. Sean Strickland was the champ in January. Now it's Dricus du Plessis. The sport of mixed martial arts just continues to move on. It's great. I love it. Absolutely love it. 310 though, the final one. Kai Asakura. Oh, hold on. No. Let's go back. Let's talk about. He's normally here on the show. Of course, Anthony Smith I'm talking about. We mentioned that he lost a very close person, friend, someone that he would refer to as probably family, a mentor, his coach. So he's been going through a tough time, but he's still fighting this weekend against Dominick Reyes. So Anthony, on behalf of myself, the whole team here, I'm sure I speak for you, Paul, as well, and all the believers, we truly wish you nothing but the best this weekend. Hope you go out there. Hope you smash it. Because the Anthony Smith that is in his prime, I believe, beats Dominick Reyes. Yeah. Obviously, the version that showed up against, what's his name that he lost to last time? My God, what's his name? The Georgian dude as well. Help me, Paul. I'm scrolling down. I'm looking at
Dolidze. Dolidze, yeah.
That version will struggle against Dominick Reyes. And I think Anthony would agree with that if he was sitting here and analysing the fight as well. And I think he knows that. So this training camp, he's left no stone unturned. He's gone to different places. He's been training with Stipe, training with Dean Thomas and people like that. You know, like the Anthony that choked out Alexander Gustafsson or somebody like that, that's what needs to show up this weekend. Because Dominick Reyes, you know, he knocked out Chris Weidman at light heavyweight, a bunch of other people. Yeah, he lost some fights, but that was to John Jones. Then it was Yuri Prohashka. I forget who the other one was as well. The point I'm making is, though, Reyes is a dangerous guy. Anthony's a dangerous guy. What do you think about that fight?
I think it's interesting. You're right, because for a while, everybody had counted out Dominick Reyes. He was on a really 4-fight losing streak, lost to Jones, Blachowicz, Prohashka, and then Ryan Spann. But then just recently in his last fight, he finally got that confidence back, right? He didn't quit on himself, and he came back after being on a 4-fight losing streak, and he beat Dustin Jacoby, who's a fantastic striker, and he finished him. And I think getting that confidence back for somebody like Reyes, I think is going to be huge. Now he's going to come in here knowing that he's still got the ability to knock guys out. And Anthony, I'm curious to see, when you deal with the tragedy, it can do a lot of things to the human psyche, right? It can really bring you down. It can be hard to get motivated. Or like we were just talking about when we were mentioning Jamal Hill, you can take that adversity and you can turn it into fuel. You can turn it into the fire in the gym and go in there and be more motivated. And based on the sounds of things, when we've talked to him and you're talking about training with different people, moving around, getting different looks, hopefully he's going to use all that to go out there. And I think if he can get in close, use his striking. And I think Anthony, man, I want to see him get back to that grappling. He showed it in that one fight with that guillotine choke. He's always got the ability to finish you on the ground. I just think sometimes he gets a little comfortable on the feet and lets things get away. And with the Dominick Reyes coming off a big knockout win, he can't afford to do that. He's got to try to get in close, get this fight to the ground, get a little dirty with Reyes, not stand and just kickbox with him. I think that's going to get him in trouble. And I know Reyes is probably going to look at some of Anthony's fights and think leg kicks. We've seen him hurt with them before. So I know he's got to look out for that. And Reyes is a guy that likes to use his kicks, but he's southpaw, right? Think Dominick Reyes southpaw? I
think so. And just going back to Anthony for a second, like, you know, people talk about some of the losses recently, and sure, you know, wins are a big part of this sport. You've got to win fights, okay? But the people that he lost to, Magomed Ankalaev, then he went to a decision with Johnny Walker. He beat Ryan Spann, and then it was Khalil Rountree Jr. There's no shame in any of those. And Khalil was short notice, and Roman Dolidze, that was short notice. It was supposed to be Oldberg, and yes, Dolidze stepped up on short notice as well. This one isn't short notice. He's left no stone unturned. I know he's very, very focused, but the losing of a very, very close friend and mentor, it's far from ideal. Harrington, jump on, because we were talking about this in New York, and because we were talking about this in New York, if you recall, and just for me as a friend, because I care for Anthony and I truly wish him the best, and I hope he gets success this weekend. It's a tricky one, because that's got to be a distraction. You're going to be sad, but you had a very different take.
Well, I mean, I look, this is a guy who, Anthony, you know, both on the air, you know, and to us, you know, he's had the mental edge, let's say, over Dominick Reyes for quite some time, right? Calling him the ghost of Dominick Reyes and all those things. And I think this is somebody who Anthony has wanted to fight. He's called out a number of times. It's somebody who I think he'll definitely get up and get excited to fight. And with this, you know, weighing on him, you know, it was also part of the conversation we're having, like, you know, that taking this and turning it into fuel and motivating you and getting the best possible version of Lionheart Smith. This feels like the best opponent for him, you know, in a fight that, like I said, he's mentally been prepping for the better part of like a half decade now. And I think I have absolutely no qualms about this one. This is, as soon as this fight was booked, I was like, okay, that's a win for Anthony. Let's keep it moving.
Well, listen, and if Anthony sees this, he'll probably give me shit. You're a really good friend by saying that. I have a kind of a different view. I'm not saying I think Anthony loses. I think Anthony shows up in the best version of himself. I think he can 100% win this fight. But you've also got to recognize that Dominick Reyes is a dangerous man. And this is the sport of mixed martial arts, and anything can happen. You know, nothing is given. So you can't say, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, Harrington, you can't say, Anthony wins this, let's move on. It's never as simple as that. And Dominick Reyes is looking at Anthony as a well-established opponent, somebody that he can now continue to build his win streak on. He wants to get back into the title conversation. He wants to be taken seriously again by the fans. And this is a guy that's very, very dangerous. He's a big, tall, strong guy. You know, he can wrestle a little bit. He's got powerful hands. We wish Anthony nothing but the best. I hope you're right, Harrington. I hope you're right. Anyway, piss off. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Unbound Merino, which specializes in all kinds of clothing made from merino wool, which is moisture wicking, temperature regulating, and extra comfortable for all sorts of travelers. Let me tell you, Unbound Merino, you go to the website, they've got everything that you need. If you want to keep it stylish but basic, and you want high quality fashion that looks good and feels great and has all the benefits that I said, moisture wicking, temperature regulating, extra comfortable for all sorts of travel, well, listen, with Unbound Merino, you're going to be packing lighter, saving on baggage fees, and taking the decision fatigue out of packing with their versatile and timeless pieces. And by the way, before I go any further, all new customers will get 15% off with the code BELIEVE when you go to the website unboundmerino.com. As I say, Unbound Merino offer timeless, versatile clothing that will have you looking good and feeling great in any situation, whatever it is that you need. By the way, the socks, they are a game changer, but they've got t-shirts, they've got chinos, they've got sweaters, they've got all the basics that a man or a woman is going to need when they are on the road. And one of the big benefits of merino wool is how much easier it is for packing, because look, listen, merino wool has a naturally odor resistant quality to it, so you can wear them multiple times. Okay, so you don't have to pack as much stuff. So as I say, head over to unboundmerino.com, where new customers, when they use the code BELIEVE, they will get 15% off. They got t-shirts, they got sweaters, they got travel pants, they got all kinds of stuff. They got the socks, they got the undies, they got everything that you're gonna need. It's stylish, it looks good, and it's great value for money. Unboundmerino.com. New customers, use the code BELIEVE to get 15% off. Have you looked at these prelims, Paul?
That's what, yeah, the prelims are good, right?
It's crazy. Clay Guida, Chase Hooper, Chiesa, Max Griffin, Cody Durden, Joshua Van. That's going to be a good one, by the way.
That one
Chris
is gonna be a good
Weidman,
one.
Weidman, Eric Anders, Randy Brown, Brian Battle. That's a sick fight. Movsar Evloev, Aljamain Sterling on the prelims. Vicente Luque, Temba Garimbo, Dominick Reyes, Anthony Smith. Barring the one that we just spoke about, Anthony Smith, of course, which one of those is the must-see prelim for you?
I really think that Randy Brown and Brian Battle fight is that's going to be
one.
Fantastic. That's the one. I mean, Randy Brown always brings it. He's great everywhere, and Brian Battle has made some noise since getting into the UFC. He's got the confidence, the swag. You know, I think you were there in his last fight, right? Were we in Paris when he fought?
Yeah.
And he just had all the gold and all the jewelry. He's wearing it in the warm-up room. He's feeling himself. And I love to see a young fighter like Brian Battle really kind of understand that getting in shape, winning fights, number one. And then number two, have some personality, have some fun with this career, man. Go out there and be whoever the hell you want to be. And he's definitely found that inner self of him and bringing it out and being goofy. And his Instagram is fun to follow. So, and I've always been a fan of Randy Brown. So the two of them, they're gonna beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they are, and it's going to be fun. Who wins though? Don't sit on the fence. Come on, because this is hard. Because I've had Rude Boy on the show, I've had Brian on the show, and they're both right about now. Rude Boy Randy Brown, you know, he's a great guy, but it's a hard one to pick.
It's a hard one to pick, but just based on what I saw in Paris and what I've seen recently from Brian Battle, I think he's going to get it done. I don't have a prediction on how, but he was on the wrong end early on in that fight in Paris, and he turned it around, and he's got durability. He's in fantastic shape. You can tell he's really committed to his strength and conditioning program right now. Every time we see him, he looks fitter and fitter. He's kind of just a pudgy fighter early on in his career, and lately he's showing up. He's shredded. He doesn't want to be wearing a shirt ever, gold chains. I just think the momentum that he's riding right now, being on another big card, a pay-per-view spot, not on the pay-per-view, but still part of the card, I think he's going to take the opportunity to really shine. Now, that being said, Randy Brown's fantastic, and he can get the fight done wherever. He's so long and difficult to deal with, but if I had to pick, I'm going to go with Brian Battle on that one.
Okay. We'll do one more prediction, then we'll allow Harrington to throw a stupid story at us.
Yeah.
Shavkat Rakhmonov, Ian Machado, Garry. Somebody's has got to go. Who will it be? We don't know. But I will say Machado will be the one he's going to lose. I think.
Oh, I thought you were going the other way with it. I was I like it. It's a bold prediction.
No, I've got Shavkat. Listen. Fair play. We spoke about this. Respect to Ian Garry for taking this fight. You tell the guy's a real fighter. He's got great skills. 15-0, I believe. Last time out, Jeff Neal. Very, very disciplined approach to the fight. I just think Shavkat's got more ways to win. He's about as tall, give or take. He's about as long. He's at 18-0. They're all stoppages. Granted, again, similar levels of competition. Neither man's fighting anyone in the top 5 or anything like that. But Shavkat just always finds a way to get a hold of them, to choke them out. And I'm basing this largely on what we saw from Michael Venom Page and Ian Garry. I wasn't blown away by the grappling of either man. If Ian Garry can stay on the outside, use the footwork, he might be able to, for want of a better description, jog and jab his way to a decision that nobody's going to enjoy. And you never know, that might be the plan. But Shavkat's the type of guy, he'll get a hold of him at some point. I believe he'll get him down. And I think he's got problems down there when that happens.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. I think if they just kickboxed, then Gary's got a real shot. I mean, he's an unbelievable striker. I was just watching a video he put up of him hitting Thai pads in the gym. And it was an awesome clip of him really letting it go, landing some beautiful elbows, some kicks. But again, it's MMA. Shavkat, fantastic striker, but I just think he's stronger. I think his pressure is too much. And if it gets anywhere in a grappling exchange, I do think he's just a much, much better grappler. And I kind of see it going down that way. I see somebody getting hurt, potentially in the clinch, And I just see him getting a hold of his neck, similar to, I mean, he found his way around to the back of Jeff Neal, Shavkat did, and he didn't even have hooks in. He wasn't even fully on the back. He was just behind him, just choking him. And I think that speaks to the squeeze that guy has to be able to finish that choke from that position. And he ate some big shots in that, showed off his chin, showed off his durability. And then there's the stuff that, there's all the rumors floating around about how things went in the gym, and, Shavkat choked him out a few times. Now, again, it's training. It doesn't count, but it does make you just,
Well, people always say that. And you're right. The fight is the fight and the training room is the training room. But you and me both know that if you go up against someone in the training room
and they kicked your ass,
most of the time they kicked your ass, that's in there.
Yeah.
That's in there. And this is the biggest thing. You all get in shape. We all train. We all do jiu-jitsu, go wrestling, strength and conditioning, run your sprints, all that shit. What goes on in here? And if someone was dominating you in the training room, you're like, oh, shit. Now, granted, that can fuel you. That's like the buzzword of the episode to like, right, what was he good at? What do I avoid? How do I get around that? What did he used to do to me every time? Show it to your coaches and say, right, every time he would set up the rear naked choke like this or whatever. How do I escape that? How do I prevent that? So you do your homework, but I do believe that will be in the mind of Ian Garry. Again, that's why I respect him even more. And I also think that that's why we're going to see like a really frustrating performance from him. When I say frustrating, I mean from the type of fan that wants to see blood and guts, want to see all-out violence. I think we're going to see Ian Garry extremely
cautious,
passive. He's going to be letting Shavkat come to him and he'll be evading and fighting on the back foot predominantly. Yeah. I think so. Until or if he hurts him, and then he'll go in for the kill. But
yeah, I wonder if I think it would be good for him if he kind of flipped the script and was came out aggressive and tried to catch him off guard. But again, we haven't really seen that from him. It just doesn't seem to be his style. So if he did that, that would just be a complete shift in how he normally fights.
And Shavkat has the biggest fan club. I don't know if you know this, Laura Sanko. She's
the leader.
She's got her own merch out now. Have you seen this? I'm giving her a plug.
Well, yeah. I saw her wearing a horse. Pictures.
She's Shavkat all day. Nick Peets, who I work with on TNT Sports, he's like head of the Shavkat fan club. He's doing interviews for the Kazakhstan media and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? People love Shavkat, man. They love Shavkat.
Because he's got that. He's got that Drago energy about him, right? This kind of unbeatable foreign guy that's coming in, doesn't say much, but just every time he's in there, the fight gets finished, and it's him getting his hand raised.
Did you see that he said that his favorite favorite animal is a horse, and his favorite meat is horse meat? Yeah. I mean, listen, people eat a lot of freaky shit in the world, okay? I was just in China. They eat dogs in some parts of China, okay? How do you feel about eating a horse?
It just doesn't appeal to me, not even beyond an animal and being, somebody likes animals. Just the idea, horses are so freaking muscular and so strong. The idea of eating that meat doesn't exactly, I like steak because cows aren't exactly, running races and being super fit and jumping over hurdles and doing tricks. It's like they're lazy and they eat grass and they taste good. It's a horse. I'm like, what are we doing to tenderize this exactly? Because it doesn't sound like it's going to be the best tasting meat. So for him to say that, I think that just proves how tough he is, Michael, because if your favorite meat is horse meat, you're doing a lot of chewing, I think.
Alistair Overeem was another famous horse meat lover. The French love a bit of horse meat as well. All right, this episode is sponsored by TryMiracle.com that are here to solve all of your bedtime temperature problems. Look, when you go to sleep at night, if it's too hot in the room, you don't sleep well. Some people, like my wife, they are too cold. Well, now that is a thing of the past because of Miracle Bed Sheets. I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's Bed Sheets. Miracle Made Bed Sheets are inspired by NASA. Check this out. And they use silver-infused fabrics that are temperature regulated so you sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. And it gets better. Traditional bed sheets harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. That's insane, but it's true. It can lead to acne, allergies, stuffy noses, and let's be honest, all of that bacteria on the bedsheet, it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth, and then they require up to 3 times less laundry. As I say, they use silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA. Miracle bed sheets are thermo-regulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long. So there's no tossing and turning. There's no arguing with your wife about the temperature in the room or the house. It's just perfect sleep every night. It's just the perfect temperature, so you get the perfect sleep. As I said, the beds are infused with silver that prevents 99.7% of bacteria growth, leaving them staying cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. So no more stinky odors. Comfort and quality. They are made from luxurious, comfortable fabrics without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and feel just as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. And they are designed for your skin. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria clogs your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/believe to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use the promo code BELIEVE at checkout, you will get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product. It is backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/believe and use the code BELIEVE to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40%. Again, that's trymiracle.com/believe to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Harrington, give us a non-MMA story, please, buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, as far as non-MMA goes, I think this has to be the biggest story. Last night, Joe Biden pardoned
Joe Budden?
No, Joe Pardon.
Joe Pardon.
Joe Biden
I beg Joe pardon.
Joe Biden pardoned his own son for federal tax and gun convictions, as well as whatever other crimes he may have been up to that he wasn't charged for over an 11-year period. This comes roughly 6 weeks before he leaves office and less than a month after he assured the press that he would not be pardoning his family members. Biden claims that the prosecution against his son was politically motivated, so he is justified in his pardon.
Yeah. So I saw that in the news, and I'll be honest, I said, Harrington, put that in because it's kind of an interesting conversation, because you shouldn't use your political power for stuff like that. And we don't like to get into too much politics, but I wouldn't have voted for Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, far from it. Okay. But I will say this. If I'm president, and I'm about to not be president, and I'm going to disappear into obscurity because Joe Biden is. We ain't ever going to hear from him.
Well, let's be honest. He's already disappeared into obscurity already.
Yeah, exactly.
In his own mind, at least.
Oh, he's on his last legs in many ways. Yeah. If that was me and that was Callum, my son, and I had the ability to write it off, to pardon him, I'm sorry, I don't give a f***. I'd say talk all the shit that you like. I don't care. Ching, I'd wave my magic wand. Now, all talk shit and say that's an abuse of power. Yeah, call it what it is. I'm not defending Joe Biden here, which is something I thought I'd never have to explain. But in this situation, I have no issue with that. As a father, Paul, what say you? Oh, go on, Brian, go on. What was that?
There's literally only one job where you get to do that. Why wouldn't you abuse it? You know what I mean?
All right. Hey, Brian, I thought you were going to talk some shit there.
I mean, I have real feelings on this, but let's just go.
But please, no, give me your real feelings, Brian.
It's gonna bother a lot of people, but this is just indicative of the mindset behind following the law that this dude's had. I mean, most of his life.
Well, listen, without question, I think I know what you're referring to. There's been a lot of things over the years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, talking about this one specific thing, I'm kind of like, and I'm not sitting here defending Joe Biden, far from it. You know, he should have gone a long time ago. But if it's my kid, I'm sorry, I'm doing the same.
Yeah, unless It depends on the crimes, I guess, that my child's getting accused of. But if they're
Callum's out there raping,
like doing stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, and you do it strategically, right? You're on your way out. You're not going to be president anymore. You're how old at this point? And he's like, I don't give a shit. If I could save my son, I'm going to save my son. And same as you're saying, I have no. I'm not a super political guy, and I don't really care about any of these guys. I think politics in general is there's to be into that position. You're a shyster to begin with, but yeah, when you're going to go out big. Be like, all right, son.
Well, yeah. I mean, just going off that though.
Stop messing up, son.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yes. Stop doing whatever you do. You're making it right.
I can't do this again. This is it. Yeah, no, we're done.
Because get off the whole Hunter Biden thing, because he's been a piece of shit and done a lot of crazy stuff over the years, and Joe Biden, whatever. But as parents, that's all we're ever trying to do in life. Look out for our kids. Like, that's my motivation right now. You know, I mean, I've done well in the UFC. I've got some money. I've got a house. I've got some money put away. If I wanted, I'd be very bored, but I could probably sit around and just be a loser for the rest of my life and please myself. But I'm grafting my balls off. I'm still flying to China with a bad neck and going to Vegas this weekend and doing this and doing a podcast and grinding away every day. I've got something going on tomorrow in LA because I want my kids to have the best future possible. That's what motivates all of us as parents, as fathers, mothers, whatever. So I think in that situation, I think from that perspective, I'd be like, yeah, you know, no, yeah, talk all the shit you want.
I think even people that want to hate and want to talk trash on it, at the end of the day, if they were the president of the United States and they had a kid in trouble, they'd want to do that too. But, you know, people aren't going to come out and say that because they just can't get their political ties out of the view.
Could you imagine though, like you are the president of the United States and your son or daughter or whoever it is doing this kind of shit and up and all over the headlines? You'd just be like
nonstop, son, too, and some big craziness.
What the hell are you doing? Oh my God! What's the maddest your daughter has ever got you? Does she get you mad? Does she push your buttons?
Oh my God, yeah. But I mean, she's 9 and the other one's 2, so they haven't gotten there yet. You know, I have years of that left, hopefully for myself.
Wait until she's 14. When my daughter was 14, oh, bro. I mean, where do I start? We're not going to go into them all. There was the party where the house got robbed. You know, all my watches got robbed. By the way, that guy's dead. That kid's dead. He got involved in a shootout with the police at the police station. He chased a woman on the freeway to a police station. She called the cops, and the cops said, "Yeah, come to the police station." He chased her there. Cops came out. He got into a shootout with the police, and he's dead now. Yeah. I dodged a bullet, I think, now, because I was all about finding him.
Yeah, quite literally dodged a bullet.
Probably would have got my bloody head filled in. So anyway, there you go. Talk all the shit you want. Call me a bloody liberal, lefty, whatever you want to call me. Why do people say that all over Twitter? Bisping's a liberal. It's like, if you knew me, you would not say I was a liberal.
Spend some time on the road with you, and you'd realize you're not saying, anything in particular.
No, correct. Should we get back to MMA?
I guess.
What do you know about Kai Asakura?
I know he's got some devastating strikes, that's for sure. I wish, for his sake, though, you could knee to grounded opponents, because, my God, I've seen his highlights of him just landing knees to dudes from all different positions on the mat. And he's a lot of fun, man. I also saw the clips of him and Merab Dvalishvili sparring, and he's defending takedowns really well. I think it's going to be an interesting fight for sure.
Yeah. Obviously, for those that don't know, rising champion, I think 2 different weight classes. I watched his last fight because Juan Archuleta, I know Juan Archuleta, lives in a similar area, and a buddy of mine flew out to Japan to watch his fight, so I was watching as well. So that was Kai Asakura's last fight in Rising, New Year's Eve. And it was a pretty competitive fight, and then as Juan was going in for a takedown, it was a beautiful knee right up the midsection that just dropped him. A devastating knee, and he does have massive power. I think on the promo for the UFC, they were showing like someone's jaw all smashed to pieces. Did you see that thing on the Countdown show where he was talking about his brother was a street fighter and his brother called him out into the street, and that's how he discovered he could fight.
Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty. I think was there clips of that too? Were there clips of the two of them?
Yeah, swinging in the street.
That's awesome. That's a pretty crazy story. And I can attribute having an older brother to learning ways to fight for myself. I mean, my older brother Tommy used to beat the crap out of me when I was younger. He used to have me put on winter mittens.
Yeah.
Right. Or actually, he would put on mittens, and I would be able to go bare knuckle, and we would box in our house when we were younger.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no. Older brothers.
I wouldn't.
It's a rite of passage. Conrad and Stephen, shout out to them. They used to beat the living shit out of it. Oh, here they are. This is actually them in the show. But that didn't look good. Oof. They ain't messing around either.
No, they're like legit fighting.
That's his brother's highlights.
Oh, that's his brother doing that. I thought that was the two of them fighting.
Later in the video, it shows those two fighting and Kai being able to hold his own.
So his brother's a nasty piece of work, because some of those shots, here's the two of them here, is it? He was really trying to kill me with each strike.
Oh, shit. We're talking head kicks and everything, too.
Yeah. I tell you what. So, like, my brothers used to beat me up, but it was never anything like that. They weren't
we weren't throwing head kicks.
They would, like, rough me up and throw me around and give me a little punch and dead legs and dead arms. And now and again, they'd actually, chin me, once or twice, but never tried to head kick me, tie clinch and knee me in the face, drop an elbow. I'd be like, whoa. Comrade.
I did get hit with a mean coaster to the face one time when I was younger, though. We were playing a game where I was holding up a blanket, and he was throwing like, cup coasters that you put on the table to not get a stain on it. And I was trying to block them with the blanket. And then I pulled the blanket down, and he wung this big wooden coaster, smacked me right in the head, cut me open. It was bleeding everywhere. And I'll still never forget. He's like, his only thing that he was trying to do is don't tell mom. Don't tell mom.
Yeah,
the first thing I did, started crying right to mom. Got him in trouble.
Of course. I remember
younger brother style.
It was the school holidays, and we just took out a bank loan, and we had the house done up. Got a new kitchen and double glazing windows. And something happened. We're having an argument. My brother's chasing me, and I ended up in the back door. And I'm on the other side, and we had new door, little window, and I'm on the inside going, hey, come on, dickhead, because I'd locked the door. And he was there, and he put his face right up to the glass, and I went, choose like that to punch it, and the glass smashed. And we just got these doors. And my mum, she came limping over, what's going on, waving the rolling pin and stuff. And I went, Conrad smashed the glass, Mum. Oh my God. He already wanted to kill me, but then the rage. My mom started screaming at Conrad.
You little bastard.
I ran for my life. This was different. Like before, it was kind of a joke, and he's going to f me up. But this one, I ran.
Now he's going to try to hurt you.
Oh God! Oh yeah. And he was a big dude, 6'6". Shout out Conrad. This episode is sponsored by True Nutrition, and this is truly sports nutrition designed by you. Whatever your personal requirements are, because let's be honest, we're all different. We're all looking for something different from our nutrition. One person's needs doesn't equate to the same needs as the next person. You might want more carbs. You might want more protein. You might want more greens or whatever it is, the other health supplements that are in there. Well, with True Nutrition, you can basically meddle with the ingredients to have it exactly how you want it. All ingredients and supplements are third-party tested, by the way, but also first-party tested on site for purity and further ensuring that you get exactly what you want. True Nutrition, by the way, also sells high-quality health supplements that are also third-party tested and first-party verified on site, so you can round out your stack. So imagine this. You're able to create your own custom protein or your greens powders with exactly the ingredients that you want. You can have the flavors that you like, and you can even boost it with various supplements that you want in there personally. So it's not the brand dictating, hey, listen, this is how we feel that you should have. This is the perfect blend. No, This is you saying, what is my blend? How do I want it to taste? How much carbs do I want? What kind of nutrition do I want in there? That is the freedom that True Nutrition offer to you. And for a limited time, our listeners are getting 15% off the entire order when you use the code BELIEVE at checkout. So go to truenutrition.com, use the code BELIEVE, get 15% off your first order. As I say, you can design the perfect supplement for you that tastes exactly how you want it. The amount of health and goodness and greens and proteins and carbs and all the other stuff that they offer, that is what you can do. You can be your own mad scientist when you head over to truenutrition.com, use the code BELIEVE, get 15% off your entire order. Take the guesswork out of nutrition with True Nutrition. What do you think? Talk to me about this fight, Alexandre Pantoja. This will be his third defense. Of course, Pantoja, obviously the way to win this one, I believe, is very effective on the feet. I'm a fan of him. I think he's an exciting fighter. Steve Erceg gave him a lot of trouble, though. So, like, if you're in the corner of Pantoja, that will worry you a little bit. Of course, he beat Brandon Royval, and he took the belt off Brandon Moreno. Very, very good takedowns, beautiful jiu-jitsu. I enjoy the guy. I think he's very, very capable. But I do believe this could be a tricky fight.
Yeah, I think so too. But again, whenever anybody's coming in from another organization into the UFC, there's still just, we don't know how they're going to handle the new set of rules, the octagon being in a cage. It's a lot of different stuff. And for your first UFC fight to be against the champion, I think there's a lot of nerves. Not that he's 21-4 in his career, so I don't think he's going to be shook too much by it. But I still am leaning towards Pantoja, just having the experience in there and having the ability to kind of fight everywhere. He's good on the feet. He's great with his scrambles and his wrestling. We've seen him time and time again, and it's just such a submission threat. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think there's definitely going to be moments in the fight where Kai's able to hurt him because he's just too good of a striker, too powerful. But as the fight goes on, if Pantoja can stay within reason and not get busted up too bad early, I think he'll find a way to win that fight.
And I think it's worth pointing out that he's fought his entire career in a ring. And the ring and the octagon, it's a big, big difference. And case in point, I was talking about this on a YouTube video I did, so I apologize if you saw it. But, in the fence, obviously, if that's the fence, you're backed up against it. You can't sprawl away. And I was watching his fight with Juan Archuleta, and he was sprawling away from the takedown. And if that's the ring, the apron comes out to about here. And the guy's feet were like 3 foot backwards, sprawling away. Obviously, his hips are still inside the ring, but the legs are sprawled all the way back. Can't do that in a cage, and we have seen people struggle with that transition. Like, remember back in the day when they bought Pride, a lot of the great fighters that came over, initially they struggled. Some of them didn't have the same career. Like Wanderlei Silva was a long-time champion. He had a good career in the UFC, got a win over me, of course, and beat some great people, but he wasn't the same. Mauricio Shogun Rua, yes, he went on to become a champion, but he stumbled first time out against Forrest Griffin. Of course, Forrest went on to become a champion as well, so, no disrespect there. The Nogueira brothers, again, became a champion, but when they came over, it wasn't all the plain sailing straight off the bat. They had to make some tweaks and they had to make some adjustments. Yeah,
that's a big, that fence and takedowns on that fence and how you train for that and having the experience of fighting there and being able to get back up. It's just not there in a ring. It's not there. You don't have the same. They move you out of the way sometimes, put you back in the center more often than not. A lot of stop and start. It's just a different fight. Now, the other thing is, again, the knees. We've seen him. He's so accustomed. If he does sprawl on someone, he can throw knees to the head. You can't do that kind of stuff. You can't soccer kick. He's done that in his career too. But he's also got good counter knees. He's got good kicks, good boxing, powerful guy. But I think it's going to be a fun fight. But again, I think those things are going to give him trouble. Who knows? But my instinct is that just Pantoja having so much experience, especially just in this division, he's beaten like everybody in the top 10. I'm excited for him to have somebody fresh, to have a new challenge. I think that's only going to bring the best out of him, that it's somebody new, somebody that he hasn't fought. There's this new contender coming in from Japan, from another organization. He gets to prove himself and show that why the UFC is the best. I think he's going to be super motivated for this one.
Yeah, that's why Pantoja. Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval is hoping that Kai Asakura gets the job done because
fresh blood.
Fresh blood, because he fought Pantoja twice. He understands it's going to be hard to get a third shot. Moreno probably feels the same. In fact, everyone in the division, because three defenses, a lot of them have been repeats. You need some new blood in there, as you say. I've got Pantoja. I think Kai Asakura, you never know. He might catch him early. He might get the job done. But I think over 5 rounds, Pantoja gets the job done. So we've got Shavkat. We've got Pantoja. Cyril Gane returns once and for all. It's been a while. Rematch against Alexander Volkov. Last time out, it was a 5-round decision for Cyril Gane. Now, Volkov won the first 2 rounds last time out. And then Cyril Gane came on strong, won 3, 4, and 5. This is a 3-round fight. Cyril Gane hasn't been around for a little bit. Last time we saw him was 2023 September against the polar bear, Spivak. And he got a stoppage in the second round. Looked phenomenal. We called that fight. What do you think of this fight? And not just the fight itself. Cyril Gane, do you think he feels any kind of pressure? Because given this whole situation at heavyweight, what's going on, and Cyril Gane was the interim champion. Tremendous amount of hype around this guy, and he's kind of been forgotten about a little bit. So I think when I say pressure, the only reason I say pressure is because Cyril Gane, of course, wants to be in this conversation. So he's got to come out and he's got to put it on Volkov to enter that conversation. And remember, this is the Volkov that's got, he's getting his hair combed in between rounds. He's beating Sergey Pavlovich. He's doing his best Fonzie impression mid-fight. This guy's a lot.
Yeah, and he's looked good. I mean, he's on a 3-fight win streak right now. 2 of them being finishes. And he just made it look too easy against Pavlovich, man. I think a lot of people thought that he was going to get knocked out in that one. And they had trained together, and he made it look like he knew going into that fight that he was going to win that one. He's got a lot of confidence. And I agree with you on Cyril Gane. It's not enough to go out there and just beat Volkov. He's got to go out there, I think, and finish him for them to really consider giving him another big fight and moving him closer to that title. That being said, I think he's going to do that. I think that if he can be a little bit more aggressive, he's already been in there with him. He got the dub the first time. He knows now what to expect, where he made maybe some mistakes, where he can capitalize. I just think the athleticism, the power, I think he'll find a way to find that chin in this particular one.
Herringbone, just jump on a second because you put something in the notes about Cyril Gane, but never mind that. The one, the only, Mr. Thug Nasty himself. Let's go, brother. How the hell you been?
I've been great, bro. It's an honor to be on here with some OGs, and thank you for having me.
Hey, Bryce. Well, of course, this man here needs no introduction, the one and only Paul Felder. Bryce, it's been a while, buddy. Hey, we love having you on here. You always bring some laughs, some insight. You're a great dude. You're an incredible fighter. The sport has missed you for the last year. Obviously, last time out, it was about this time last year against Josh Emmet. How you been for the last year?
Bro, I've been so great. I built a house, had a kid, just really, I got a truck yesterday, a new truck. It's a 1977 Ford, back when they used to make them like real trucks. All these trucks now are gay. Everything. This is a real manual 4-wheel drive, bro. 351 Windsor motor. I'm telling you, brother, I've been blessed.
We'll just go back and forth, Paul. This is the first time me and Paul have done a guest. Just jump in whenever you want, Paul. Bryce, obviously last time out against against Josh, it was a nasty shot. And that's the game, buddy. That's the game. There's no judgment. Don't take it the wrong way. I've been on the receiving end of those shots. Then you come back, I became a champion, So whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That sounds like a cliche, but it's true. Talk to me about the mental journey after that fight. And was it a conscious decision taking a year off?
Yes, it was, because I knew it was such a bad shot. I really wanted to come back at full capacity. And, I just wasn't well prepared for that fight. And at first, it did get me down because I was thinking, man, how am I going to come back from that? But I did a lot of I read the Bible. There's this book in the Bible called the Book of Job, and that really helped me right there. The story of Job is about a guy who didn't do anything wrong. And by the way, that's not me. I am guilty.
We're all sinners.
I'm a sinful bastard, okay? But Job in the Bible, Job was not a bad man. He was a blameless man. But basically, he had a lot of bad things happen to him, but God redeemed him at the end of the book. And I just know that I'm going to be redeemed. And I would say maybe like a month. I was just like, man, this sucks. And but as soon as I started getting back to training, I was like, dude, this is what I love to do, and I want to do it. And I'm not letting what nobody thinks stop me from doing what I love to do. Plus, it provides for my family. I mean, you should see the trailer that I moved out of to the house that I built. Like, if it take away the fight, if you would actually just see my life, like what I've done in my life, the things that I've accomplished with my small farm and my family, my kid, my house. I mean, dude, it's like I'm winning still. And I just don't have that mentality that I'm a loser. I mean, I just feel like I wasn't well prepared, and I am now, and I'm going to be redeemed. It says in the Bible, it says a man will be recompensed for the work that he's done with his hands. And I put in work with my hands, and I will be recompensed.
Nice, Bryce. And Bryce, you talk about kind of how you've overcome so much stuff and looking back. And are you a guy that likes to look back at how far you've come? And does that motivate you to get back in there and train even harder? And how was training camp? And what things did you change up from the last fight into this one to give you the confidence to get back in there and have that confidence knowing that you're going to go in there and perform on Saturday?
Well, one thing I did was spar a lot more, and not really like hard sparring, but just sparred a lot more. I lifted a lot of weights because I just didn't have time to prepare for the last fight. So I wanted to be big, strong, good timing. And so I really feel like I've done my best, at my absolute best, to prepare for this fight. And so I feel accomplished just in that. And I really think not only a victory is coming, but something special is coming, because I really do think I'm the best that I've ever been. And I mean, everybody thinks after the loss they could have done better, but I just know I could have done better that fight. So I'm just not going to – I refuse to let it bring doubt and negativity into my life, because I know I could have done better. And I'm so thankful. I'm thankful every day now because of that loss, that I have the opportunity and I have the health to do it again. And so from anything – if I would say if that loss did one thing to me, is it made me more grateful.
And it makes you hungrier at the same time.
Yes, it does.
God damn right it does. Pardon my French there. I don't mean to be blasphemous, Bryce. My bad. It's just habit.
That's all right.
Bro, you got 2 losses on your record. That's it. There's nothing to feel bad about there. And I'm not giving you a pep talk, but it's like a lot of fans, 1 minute they're all about you, and then you lose, and then people you've probably seen some mean tweets online and people talking shit and all the rest of it. It's like, dude, you lost to Ilia Topuria and you got caught by one of the hardest hitting featherweights. You know what I'm saying? As you say, you're winning in life. I would love to hear more about this farm and the house that you built. But tell me, what do you think about Kron Gracie, and what do you think about the matchup? Because it's a curious one, right? You are a great striker, but you use your wrestling. You're a true mixed martial artist. Everyone that's fought Kron Gracie has been like, whoa, stay away from the ground with this guy. Cub Swanson, Charles Jourdain, they both, moved around, the dynamic strikers. What's the mindset coming into this one? Are you happy to go down there and mess on the ground, or are you just going to take it as it comes?
I think the fight's going to be everywhere. I mean, I think it's going to be a crazy fight. I'm not scared to go anywhere with him. And, in those fights, even though he lost, to be honest, I was watching that Cub Swanson fight. Bro, he moved Cub around wherever he wanted. Yeah, Cub landed the better shots, but I'm just saying this, if the fight was in Walmart, Cub versus Kron, he walked his ass out the door. He walked his ass out the parking lot. He walked his ass past the gas station. I mean, he moved forward the whole fight. How can you say that he really lost the fight? He never got rocked. He never got tired. He never got wobbled. And Cub ran the whole time. And so I look at this guy, and Cub is like an elite striker. I mean, everybody puts respect on Cub's name. Nobody puts respect on Kron's name. So I don't give a shit what everybody says. This guy is good. He's tough. He takes a shot. He's not scared, and he moves forward. And even Cub Swanson had a hard time dealing with him. You know, look at the third round. Cub's punches wasn't doing much because he was a little bit fatigued. But Cub is a great fighter, and look how well he handled Cub. So that's my point, is that I don't give a shit what nobody says. This dude's legit, and I'm coming to prove that I can beat him.
And Bryce, is it the kind of fight that you think you can go out there and you can finish him? And is that something that, coming off of a loss and taking that time to really get back in the sparring, doing the strength and conditioning, feeling better, is it enough for just a win, or do you want to go out there and try to take him out?
Oh, I'm more hungry than ever, dude. I want to finish for sure. I got to make sure that I don't do anything too greedy, you know what I mean, and just play it smart. But I really think I'm getting that finish.
Okay, and we can't wait for it. But let's have some fun now, Bryce. Okay, come on, because that's what we like to do in here, buddy. And no one brings the fun and the banter like the one and only Thug Nasty. I was looking at Twitter here because I put a little tweet out. I said, anyone got some questions? And I thought this might get a good response off Bryce. Ask Mr. Thug Nasty what he thinks about Elon Musk trying to colonize Mars.
Well,
what do you think about that?
Elon Musk is a liar. He's trying to destroy humanity, and anybody that ever trusted him, they've been deceived. But I have discernment through the Holy Spirit. For example, this is the prime example of how evil he is. He's actually selling microchips that go into people's head, acting like he's some damn doctor. One. Brother, that's the market.
Bro, I'm in so much pain. They help with neck pain. Elon, if you're watching, I doubt you are, stick one in me. I will be the crash test dummy.
Brother, that chip is the mark of the beast. And I'm telling you, that is the type of technology that the Antichrist is going to put in people. When you start getting these chips in the head, they're going to monitor everything you buy, everything you sell. They're going to say you can't buy or sell unless if you're this or that. And I mean, basically, it's going to be communism like the world's never seen. This technology is going to be so evil that it's going to put all of the control of the world into the hand of one man. And that's what this, of course, technology is a great thing. I love exactly what we're doing right now. I get to talk to people all over the world with technology, but I'm telling you, the future of technology is a few humans are going to use it to control the rest of humans. And that's what's happening. The Bible has said that for thousands of years, and now we're seeing it. And when you see a guy like Elon Musk putting chips in people's brains, acting like he's a doctor, his cars suck. He's never been to space. He can't go to space. He can't break the firmament. He knows the earth is flat. He's a lying rat bastard. You know, the microchips are the mark of the beast. And now he's making these robots that are going to try to take over humanity. You ever seen the movie I, Robot with Will Smith?
Oh, I have.
The dude's making robots now. He's doing everything. And you know why he wants electric cars? Because these electric cars suck and they're gay. But what they're doing, the reason he's making electric cars is because he can shut your damn car off whenever you make a mean tweet. And now he owns Twitter. But they're going to get to the point where everything is so controlled that Elon Musk press the button and either your car flies off a bridge at 200 miles an hour or you're locked in it, you know, or you just can't start your car. You can't get in. You can't do that with a 1977 Ford pickup truck, buddy. My 7.3 will run one of those piece of shit Teslas off the road and crush it like a can of Coke, okay? I'm just telling you, those Teslas are pieces of shit just like he is.
Well, as I said last time, Bryce, and any time, Paul, just jump in. I said my wife was a witch.
Back.
She drives a Tesla as well, and you're right, they're not my vibe. Okay,
you talking about Rebecca?
Yeah, it's not my vibe.
She's a sweet lady. I'm not. Hey, I'm not talking bad about people who drive it. They are deceived, but they're not evil because they drive.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Now, one would argue that Elon Musk is trying to save. And by the way, that was a genius tweet because that was awesome, Bryce. I love talking to you, brother, because you're a smart man and you're a deep thinker, you know, and you are committed to a belief system, which is more than what a lot of people can say. You know what I'm saying? And I respect you for that, Bryce. I really do. But I do buzz off you quite a lot as well.
Well, you're the only person that lets me say what I want to say. That's why I love it.
Say whatever the hell you want to say. I love it. I love it. I think you're out of your mind. I disagree, but that's our opinions. We're allowed to do that. One would say that Elon Musk is trying to save humanity by taking us to Mars.
Yeah, well, Mars is actually a luminary. If you get in with the telescope and you zoom in on Mars, it's not a planet. There's no such other things as solid planets like Earth. Everything that you see in the sky, like if you zoom in on Mars, it's a shifting type of light. It's a luminary. It's not actually a planet. These other planets don't exist. They're luminaries, lights in the sky. He can't cross the firmament. And I know you don't believe in the firmament, but brother, the whole idea of space is so fake that it's hard to even have the conversation because I sound like a totally crazy man. But basically, the earth is flat. There's a firmament that God made. That's on the first page of Genesis. God made the firmament to separate the waters above, the waters below. And outside of the firmament, all those other things you see are lights. And you can actually zoom in with the telescope and see stars twinkling, because the stars are not what the sun is. They're just lights, and I don't know what they are, but I'm telling you, Elon Musk ain't going up there. The highest anybody's ever been is about 120,000 feet. That's as high as a balloon floats, and that's as high as a human's capable of going.
So the moon landing was definitely fake.
Oh, for sure. NASA is totally satanic. And let me tell you what the end goal of NASA is, because I could talk all day about NASA and how they lie and what they use and all this stuff. But let me tell you exactly what the end goal of NASA is. So you know the end goal coming straight out of my mouth. And there is no other goal of NASA than to deceive. But here's the end goal. They're going to fake an alien invasion.
I just wanted to ask you about that, Bryce, because I've heard some stuff. I've read some things, Project Blue Light and things like that people talk about.
Blue Beam,
do you think that's what's going on now, that we're seeing people release a lot more? Oh, there's a lot more. We're seeing time and time again all these videos of the crafts and stuff.
The only aliens.
You are right, Paul. They are now starting to reveal and drop little teasers and hints that maybe we aren't alone, and maybe they did visit us, over the years. Bryce.
The only aliens are the 20 million immigrants they let into our country and let and kill our women and children. Those are the only aliens that exist. Let me tell you, there ain't no damn aliens. And what NASA is doing is they're trying to make you believe that aliens exist. So when they use United States military bombs and bomb Los Angeles, they're going to say aliens did it. Now y'all need to be rounded up for your own safety, and we're going to put you in these concentration camps, and they're going to have slave laborers for the rest of their life because everybody's going to be living in fear of aliens. I'm telling you, aliens don't exist. Space don't exist. NASA, when it was invented, it was a satanic operation in the 60s and 50s, and the whole thing culminates to the fake alien invasion. And it's also a counterattack for the rapture, because most Christians believe that the rapture is going to happen. That's when basically the Christians vanish off the face of the earth because God doesn't want them to suffer through the tribulation. The tribulation is laid out in Revelations, which is already started unfolding. And I'll get back to how I can prove that. But most Christians won't
get back to that, Paul. You can prove it.
I'll prove that Revelation is true in just a second.
Okay.
But basically, when the rapture happens, the Christians are just going to vanish. They're going to be gone because God doesn't want them to suffer all of the tribulation. Well, they're going to say aliens abducted us. I mean, it's that simple. So they're using aliens as a lie to be able to attack towns with militaries and say aliens did it. And they're also going to use it as an excuse to explain why the Christians disappeared. They're going to say aliens abducted the Christians. And I know well, if you don't believe in God, just please, if you ever see the Christians disappear and the government, you turn on the TV and every news channel says, oh, there's been alien abductions on the planet and I'm not here no more, and none of your Christian friends are here no more, you can still repent. You can still be saved in the name of Jesus. And I want you to know that, because I believe that's what they're planning to do. Now, the reason I can prove Revelation true is just based off of one prophecy, literally one. It has a lot of prophecies that have come true, but let me give you one. The Euphrates River is running dry. The army of 200 million lies to the east. And I know I told you this about a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I just kind of smiled. But carry on. Tell Paul.
And a guy wrote that 2,000 years ago. There wasn't 200 million people on the planet, and the Euphrates River has been the cradle for civilization since civilization started. And so for a guy 2,000 years ago to say, hey, near the end of times, when this mark of the beast rises and the Antichrist rises, the Euphrates will dry. For him to be able to say that, and then for him to say the army of 200 million lies to the east, brother, he's predicted both of those. And so we are living in that time of revelation. I know that.
Bryce?
Yes.
You are a learned man. You obviously read the Bible before and after. There's Brian chiming in and accentuating and furthering your, what some might call, wild theory. My question to you, Bryce, is that I like you. I have respect for you. You know that.
Yeah,
but
I know that.
what would you say if I was to say, you sound like a crazy person, respectfully, like you know what I mean? Because a lot of people hearing this,
I know.
Bryce is off the deep end. Bryce is off.
I took too many hits to the head, so that's
no. But you're not a crazy person. You're not a crazy person. You're doing very well in life. I know you're an intelligent guy. You're very, very well spoken. You know, this is your belief system. This is what you believe in.
Yeah.
But what would you say to anyone looking here and reading this? And I'll say it as well, dude. That sounds a little wild. What would your answer to that be?
The number one thing I have to say is no matter who you are or what you've done, Jesus Christ loves you and the devil hates you. And recently, brother, I've had dreams of going to hell, and I don't think I'm going to hell, but God has been revealing things to me. And I've had these dreams, these demonic dreams, these dreams where I go to hell. And brother, the one thing I want to say is I don't want anyone to go to hell. It is so awful, brother. And I love all of you guys with all my heart, just as Jesus Christ commanded me. And Jesus Christ loves you. Jesus Christ didn't start wars while he was on this earth. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't steal nothing. He was a great person. And man, Jesus Christ loves you. The devil hates you. And I do not want anyone to go to hell. And that's the main message I preach. I don't want people to go to hell. It is so awful. And it's been revealed to me, a glimpse of hell in my dreams.
That was a tweet from @AlmightyLegion on Twitter. And I got to say, he hit the motherlode. He did. That's what we wanted. That's what we want from a bit of Bryce Mitchell. We want, you know what I mean? Because you're an interesting guy. And I'm not laughing at you. I'm not joking. You know, I love to hear it and talk to you and get into stuff with you because it's interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people in the comments will agree with you. Some people won't. But that's life. That's life. What does it feel like? What does it feel like to face a Gracie? Because the Gracies, in some ways, kind of founded this sport. They kind of started the UFC. Mm-hmm. They are world famous family for reinvigorating Brazilian jiu-jitsu and martial arts and people's passion for combat sports. And he's one of the last guys to do it. He's kind of one of their last ever representatives. And you know, he's the son of the legendary Rickson Gracie. So he comes from quite the lineage. And now you get to step in the octagon against a Gracie. And does that feel different from a regular opponent?
Yes, it's surreal. And there's no explanation for it rather than just God wanted it to happen. And it's going to elevate the Mitchell name because, you know, this performance is going to be superb. So, but you know, like you said, without the Gracies, man, the sport just ain't the same. They're legends of the sport. And like I said, God wants this matchup to happen for his plan to unfold.
What do you think, Paul?
I just want to say, you know, when you being such a deep thinker, having such strong beliefs the way you do you find it hard to almost focus on mixed martial arts, on fighting, when you think so strongly about the views and the things that are happening in the world and being such a man of faith? Is it tough for you to focus on the task at hand when you have so many deep thoughts, when you're having dreams where you're worried about this, you're worried about mankind in general? Is fighting something that actually helps you kind of, you know, take a step back and be distracted and kind of focus on something that you enjoy as well?
Well, it's pretty much through my journey, it's been revealed to me that this is what God wants me to do. God's put all of these visions and gave me all of these prophecies and told me the truth because he wants me to share it with the world. And there is no other way I can do it than go kick other people's asses. And when I'm on that microphone, I get to promote Jesus Christ. Nobody would listen to Bryce Mitchell if he's sitting in the trailer in Arkansas. But when he's sitting up there with his hands raised with the gold belt around his waist, people are going to believe what Bryce Mitchell says. But God is using me, is using MMA for me to be able to share my beliefs. That's the only reason he's blessed me with this ability, because he knows that I will give him all the praise. He knows that I will help as many people as I can see the truth, and that I'm absolutely fearless of these communist rat bastards. I hate them. I despise them because they're evil and they're wicked, like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. They're scum of the earth, and I hate them. I absolutely despise wickedness, and I have zero fear. And if you have any bit of fear, then it's just not a Christian concept, because God commands us to be fearless, and God knows that I'm fearless, and that's why he's using me to spread this message. And I'm not right about everything I've ever said. I'm nowhere near perfect, but when I say that Jesus Christ is king and that the Bible is true, I know that with all my heart, and God wants me to say that, and that's why he's given me the abilities that he has. And if I don't fight, then I'm turning my back on God. I fight for God now.
And I was just going to say, you're a good person above everything, and you believe what you believe, and I believe what I believe. And, we've spoken about that many times. And I guess we'll find out when the day comes. When we both pass on to the other side, we'll find out who's correct and who's wrong then. And I hope you're correct, if I'm honest. I really do, because life for me is about trying to be a good person. I'm not a Christian guy. I don't go to church. I don't pray, but I like to feel
going to church has nothing to do with being a Christian, brother. You could accept Jesus Christ in your heart right now in that chair that you sit, and you will live forever. Jesus is not the God of the dead. He's the God of the living.
Yeah, bring him on, Brian. That's fine. Well, thank you very much. I accept Jesus. I used to be an altar boy. I was baptized. I'm part of the club. Yeah. I ain't going to hell, baby. I ain't going to hell. Bryce, we love talking to you, man. We do. And you're a real one. You show up every single time. Record of 16-2. You fought the best people in the world. You're opening up the final pay-per-view of the year in Las Vegas. That's a big card. It's a big moment. It's a big spectacle. You're going up against a Gracie. You deserve everything that you've achieved. And I truly mean that, Bryce. Do you know Brendan Loughnane, by the way?
I know the last name.
Yeah, no, he just fought in the final of the PFL.
Yeah, I know Loughnane. He's a 45er.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Brendan, Jesus Christ. Well, Bryce, thank you for your time. We're going to have a quick chat with Brendan. All the best this weekend, brother. Go out there.
God bless y'all. Thank you for having me on.
Whoop some ass. Do it in the name of Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, baby.
I will, brother.
Get out of here. All right, this episode is sponsored by PrizePicks, and PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. As I say, whatever the sport, whatever it is that you're watching, PrizePicks probably offer some games on that. Now, all you do, you pick more or less on certain stats. Like, for example, this week's on PrizePicks, I'm looking at the football board and I'm selecting Jared Goff for more than 230 passing yards and Saquon Barkley for more than 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce for more than 70 receiving yards and Lamar Jackson for more than 250 passing yards. Like, it's another way for MMA. In MMA, it might be, will Shavkat Rakhmonov land more than 5 leg kicks, more or less? That's all you got to do, right? More or less on a 2 to 6 player stat projection, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. By the way, PrizePicks is the best way to get in on sports action in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes, and PrizePicks now offers Venmo for quick and easy deposits and withdrawals into your account this sports season. So download the PrizePicks app today and use the code BELIEVE to get $50 off instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's an incredible offer. Download the app today. Use the code BELIEVE. Receive $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. Run your game. Hey, what's up, Brendan?
How are we?
There we go. There we go. There we go. Brendan, how you doing, buddy?
I've had better days. I've had worse, though.
Oh, you know, Paul, and just jump in whenever you want, Paul.
Yeah.
Obviously, Brendan's from my neck of the woods. We go back. He fought in the PFL in the final for what would have been your second $1 million prize at the weekend. It was a tough night at the office. I didn't get to see the fight, Brendan, but I've seen some highlights and I've read the read up on it and everything. And we were chatting, we were texting back and forth and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm going to ask Brendan if he wants to come on and talk about it, because it takes a lot to do that. You know, and I respect you for being here, Brendan, and manning up and saying, you know, it is what it is. And this, like I told you on the text, it's the toughest sport in the world, you know, and to reach the levels that you have reached is impressive. And you don't need a pep talk. It's just being brutally honest. And you know this, Paul, you know, you step in there, you've been fighting at the highest level for so long. You get to this point, all right, it wasn't your night, but you're still one of the best in the planet, and you're still here, and you're still an ugly bastard.
Yeah, listen, you can't always win, can you? It's been a mad year. This PFL is absolutely nuts, mate. Fighting 4 times in 7 months every year for 5 years. It's just like competition coming out your ass, mate. You're just constantly fighting, constantly weight cutting. You know, away from your family, you're in training camp all year round, basically. Before the PFL, it was just a case of have a fight, have a month or 2 off, then get yourself back in the gym, like 1, 2, 3 a year maybe. But this whole schedule has been really hard, and it caught up to me towards the end of the year, obviously. And like you say, the guy that I fought, 18-0, from Khabib's gym, like he's not even lost a round yet in the PFL. Like, come on, like, you know, fighting the best guys you possibly can, and no shame in losing.
Yeah, and Brendan, I mean, when you're on that kind of schedule, how do you maintain that? How do you keep the mind from wandering, right? When you're, you know, like you talked about, when you have a month or 2 in between and you get time to reset, but when there's always something up next on the horizon, what have been the struggles for you, and what have you used to kind of constantly stay sharp? I know you're a workhorse. We've talked, I've gotten a chance to hang out with you years ago, and I know that you're a guy that loves to grind, but at what point does it just become too much?
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a good question. You can't switch off, Paul. Like, the truth of the PFL is you've had one fight and then you're doing a stare down straight after it for the next fight. And you don't even get that one night, mate. You know, that one night where you can just switch off and enjoy some time with your mates. Like,
yeah.
You're just thinking about the next fight. So although I lost on Friday, I'm just so happy to just be able to chill. And do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I lost the fight, but at the same time, like, I can switch off for the rest of the year, enjoy Christmas, have a pint. Do you know what I mean? Like, stuff like that. It's just, it's PFLs is very different to anything else that I've ever done.
Yeah, and listen, you were always an ugly bastard anyway, but it looks like he did. It looks like he did a good number on you there. And mate, I've been in the same way, right? So that's why I can sit here and I can have a laugh about it. And Paul's been the same. You know, anyone that fights at this level for this long, and you fight the toughest guys out there, 18-0 out of Khabib's gym, terrible stylistic opponent, fighting in Saudi Arabia, so a lot of like things leaning in his favor. Talk me through the fight, because I know as the fight progressed, you came back, you had a little rally, you dropped him with a jab. So you were showing your fighting spirit all the way through it. But what was going through your mind when you were in there? And obviously it was a tough one. What were you thinking?
You know what it is, Mike? I didn't really want to talk about it, but we'll just tell the full picture as it is, because I didn't want to make no excuses. But on the last bar of the camp, I really damaged my knee. I got all the MRIs and all that, and it was a case of like, it was 2 weeks out. It was the last spar, second to last round. One of the young lads trying to take me down, and there was a massive pop, and I did like some pretty heavy damage to the knee. And it was at that point I had to decide, like, what do I do? Do I just roll the dice and just give it a go, or do I just pull out? And in 18 years of fighting, I've never pulled out of a fight. I've never pulled out of one, so I just thought, I'm not going to start now. So I just rolled the dice. I lost my lateral movement in the fight. But in the end, fourth and fifth, I just started to bite my gum shield and think, fuck this. You're here now anyway. Started to rally back. Yeah, like, what else can you do at this point? I'm in it now. Started to rally back. And, I felt like I definitely a full, healthy Brendan could have done a better job, but that's taking absolutely nothing away from Timor, man. Them guys, I fought a few of them now. I don't know what it is, mate. It's very different to fighting normal human beings. It's not normal. It doesn't feel normal. And yeah, it was a really tough night at the office. Probably the toughest fight I've ever had, like damage wise. Like I took some really, really heavy shots. So yeah, definitely need some time to rest and recover and see what's next.
Yeah, you've got some. Sorry, Paul. Go ahead. My bad.
No, I was just going to say, what's the plan? What's the plan for rehabilitation, mentally, physically? Do you have anything set up? You going back home? Where were you training? Like, you've been all over the place as well, right? You were training overseas pretty much most of the time.
Yeah, I go to Thailand for my camps mostly, just because I've got good coaching out there. It's efficient. It's hot all year round. There's always bodies. So yeah, I've been out there. I pretty much done 7 months there this year, near enough, just training for fights. So now I bought an apartment in Dubai, so that's where I'm at now.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Times are good.
Yeah, are you a resident of Dubai?
I am.
No taxes?
Of course. That's exactly
yes, baby. Let's go.
That's exactly right. Exactly.
Smart man.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, listen, nothing's on the horizon. PFL, obviously, it's very, very early days. The fight was only the weekend. But yeah, I just got to heal up this knee as well. Got to heal up the face now to go with it. And then, like I say, mate, like no shame in losing to these guys or losing at this level. I'm not ashamed of it. I rolled the dice. I'm just excited to have Christmas off now, to be honest. And I was chatting to Mike about this. I'm 30-6 now. 30 wins and 6 losses. Like I've 8-0 at amateur. Been on the Ultimate Fighter and a contender. Done all like loads in this sport now. So now I have to really think, like, what am I in this for now? Do you know what I mean? Because I've made a few quid, I've invested it wisely. I've had some great fights all over the years, and now I just have to think, right, where are we going with this now? Do you know what I mean? And really sit down and analyse it.
Yeah, and that's always, how old did you say, 34?
34.
Yeah, so you've still got some time. You've still got some more time, but I understand, you're being smart. You're thinking about what's next, because 2-3 years, that passes in the blink of an eye. But, you have made some money. You've traveled the world. I mean, You don't have children, right? No kids.
Not yet.
And that's the beauty of what you're doing right now. You're training in Thailand. You're living in Dubai. You're fighting in Saudi Arabia. You're going out to America. I mean, you are maximizing this. Think about what you would have been doing if you were still in Manchester, right? And you never got into this. Where do you think you'd be now, Brendan? What do you think you'd be doing? Let's be honest.
What are you getting at, Mike?
I'm not getting at anything. I'm not saying you'd be a drug dealer or anything like that. I'm saying, I knew that's what you were thinking. No, but what I mean is, like, I'm trying to change you up. I'm like, look at what you've achieved with your life. Look at where you could have been. You could have been on the dole, down the job centre, skin, or maybe working on a building site or dead-end jobs or factory work, because we're from the same neck of the woods, and lads like us, that's kind of like the kind of hand that life deals you, But look at what you're doing. You're coming out as live from Dubai, bro.
No. You're 100% right on that one. I remember when I was young, and I used to go to school, and then on the weekend, my dad used to come and go to work with him. My dad was a manual labourer, and from Friday to Sunday, I'd work with him. And I just remember thinking to myself, me, surely this just isn't life. You don't just work like this all day, every day, and then die, deal. Do you know what I mean? So, is this how it's going to be written for me? So you're right. Like, same with Paul, same with yourself. We rolled the dice, didn't we? And we bet on ourselves, and we won. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I say, I did that post. I lost the fight, but I won in life. I really have. I've made life-changing money, and I am in Dubai, and made some smart investments with it. Times are fantastic. So you've got to look at the brighter side of things, really. I mean, I've lost 6 times.
Now, Brendan, young, free, and single, Dubai.
Dangerous.
Big hot shot fighting in Saudi Arabia. Do not be blowing all that cash. Don't be out there giving it the big one. I know what you're doing out there. You better take it easy, Brendan. You're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, listen, mate, I'm having a bit of time off, and I will maximise it, let me tell you.
Why the hell not? Why the hell not? Will you be watching the UFC at the weekend, Brendan?
Remind me. Who's fighting?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. Are you a fan of MMA in general, or do you just focus on your own career and what will be?
I watch it a bit less than I used to, but I'll always be a fan at heart. Do you know what I mean? This is this is my passion. But I don't catch them as much as I used to, mainly because of training camps, time zones in Thailand and things like that. It was quite hard to get live MMA because of the time zone. It'd be on through the night. So, I mean, now I've got a bit more time because, like you guys know, right? When you're in camp, I've essentially been in camp since January. Everything else goes on to the back burner. You don't have a life, do you? You put all life problems to one side while you're just in camp. So now I've got to deal with all the real life problems. Do you know what I mean? Now that the camp's over, like the tyre on your car that you can't be arsed changing until you're out of camp. Shit like that. And bank and Wi-Fi and just like mad shit that you just don't. No, I'll deal with that after camp. So now I've got to come back to reality to all them jobs.
Listen, that's why you need a wife, Brendan.
I know, mate. Tell me about it.
Oh, shit. Listen, mate, it's super late where you are. Brendan, you're a close mate. I've got tons of respect for you anyway. But the fact that you're willing to come in here and talk and just have a laugh and just say, the better man got it done. Shame to hear about your knee as well, but it is what it is. You rolled the dice. I think... my respect has gone even higher, man. I hope we get to catch up soon. We'll have a beer. We'll have a proper catch up. But thanks for jumping on here. I know it's mega late where you are now. You're in Dubai, right?
I am, yeah.
Not in Saudi. All right. Well, we'll let you go. Paul, have you any farewell words, any words of wisdom, any nuggets of information, any advice that's going to change Brendan's life?
No, absolutely not. I just want to say that it's been awesome to see you absolutely crush it, man. And every time I see highlights and see how well you've been doing, and to be able to watch you on the Contender and the BS that went on with that, and then you went and you found your own, and you've been doing above and beyond what a lot of guys in that same situation were doing. So just congrats on all the success, man, because I was a big fan then, and it's only gotten stronger since then. So keep kicking ass, man.
Thank you.
Stay away from these crazy Habib gym guys.
Tell me about it. I'm not answering the phone to any more of them. Anything that ends in Ov or F, don't ring me anymore.
So, do me a favor. Give me an English or an American dude. For crying out loud.
Nobody wants to box it up with me. Let's go. Come on.
Mate, but you've done really good stopping all them style of fighters in the past. You take that defense. I've said before, so without, again, taking away from his victory, certainly the knee must have been a big issue because your takedown defense is normally on point. Right, anyway, enough kissing your ass, Brendan. You're the man. Get out of here. Enjoy your time in Dubai. And, what's Darren Till up to?
He's fighting Tommy Fury, yeah?
No, I know, but like he's cracking me up lately with the press conferences and everything.
Oh, no, is it not gold dust though? Is it not the
have you seen all this, Paul?
Oh, I've seen some of him.
He's just going to kick him in the head, and then he's like, and he's the John Fury. Cough, John.
John Fury versus Darren Till is the battle that I never thought I needed in my life till I seen it. I was like, how are these two clashing? This is the greatest thing, but it's must-see TV. It's like popcorn moments, isn't it?
Mate.
Yeah. Then now's the time. Make that shit happen. I mean, we're living in a world where Tyson's getting pay-per-view Netflix fights with Jake Paul. Why can't we make that fight happen?
Yeah. So I said to Darren, right, here's the thing, Darren has spent the last decade of his life fighting the best guys in the world, Now he can do this Misfits and make double what he would have made fighting UFC champions. Go and make the dough, lad. Innit? Go make the dough. Nothing left to prove to no one. Go make your dough. And he's the perfect guy for Misfits, is he not?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, he is.
Yeah.
He
bites.
cracks me up.
Sound bites.
Do me a favor. I messaged him recently. I don't know if he's changed his number because I know he likes to change his number a lot. So I maybe haven't got Darren Till 27. I've got 3 or 4. I haven't got Darren Till 27. Tell the prick to shoot me a message. Brendan, I'll let you go, mate. Enjoy your time out there.
Stop, man.
I think, did you want him, Harrington?
Yeah, just one real quick question before you go, Brendan. I put it in the chat. Dakota Ditcheva, she called for a PFL show in Manchester to start off the year next year. If that does end up coming to fruition, you know, I know you've talked about being on the fence, but would you cast all that aside to do one show in for the hometown boys?
I mean, they did mention it, right? But it's all just talk at the minute. If I see actual paperwork that's going to happen, then I'll get excited for it. But you can throw these things around all day that all this is going to happen. I've heard it all before. If they actually put pen to paper, mate, then it was a serious conversation. But right now, it's just smoke talk.
Copy.
And fair play to Dakota, by the way. Daz Morris has been telling me about her for a long time. So I got to reach out and get her on the show. Right, this one's for real now, Brendan. Get out of here. Piss off.
Right,
You're the man, Brendan. See you, mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right. Okay. Well, we'll Harrington, jump on. How are you doing for time, Paul? You can jump off if you want, mate. Let's have a look. Is there any big stories or any fights that we didn't talk about real quick? Because we've been going for a while here, but I feel like we still got some bits and bats to get to. But I would say we'll do it on Thursday's show, but we don't do a Thursday show at the minute because, you know, what a man can only take so much. But go on, Harrington.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, the only big fight left on the card you guys didn't get a chance to talk about was Ciryl Gane versus Volkov. You guys were in the middle of that when Bryce hopped on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Look, listen. I think Ciryl Gane's incredible. And I think he's so dynamic and so talented, and his striking is beautiful. He's so athletically gifted. I think people, because of the time away, have kind of forgotten about him. Remember, Ciryl Gane's only got 2 losses on his record. One of them is to John Jones. One of them is to Francis Ngannou. So there's no shame in either of those losses, and that's a stupid statement to make. And the Francis Ngannou fight, he had to turn Francis Ngannou essentially into a wrestler because he didn't like what was going on the feet, and it went 5 rounds, and it was a competitive fight. That tells you right there how good Ciryl Gane is. It also shows you a bit of a weakness in the grappling department of Francis and Ciryl, you know, not talking shit. Ciryl Gane's the man. But I expect him to repeat what he did last time against Volkov. I expect him to get the victory. But the problem is here, it's not a 5-round fight, it's a 3-round fight. So he's got to come out of there.
Started early. Yeah, he's got to get started early. And I think that's one of the things that we've seen from him. He's so patient. He's so good with his footwork. He's elusive. But I think in this one, with the way the heavyweight division's moving, if you want to be right up there in the talks for fighting Aspinall, Jones, whoever it's going to be, I think going out there and getting him out of there and being aggressive early and not taking your time and showing everybody that you can go and put people away quick. I think that's going to be important for him. And I think he can get it done. And I think that's where his mind will be is, okay, you know, people aren't talking about me as much right now. I've been sitting and waiting for this to happen. And now I'm going to take this opportunity and show everybody, you know, how good I am.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not word on the street, but if I was a betting man, I would say that, Jones versus Aspinall is going to go down International Fight Week next year. That's just me. You know, apparently negotiations have already started, right? International Fight Week sounds about right. They just announced UFC London in March. So we'll be going back, Paul. And apparently Leon Edwards is going to headline. Again, that's because Tom Aspinall will probably be fighting Jones in International Fight Week. So it is a big opportunity for Ciryl Gane to really, you know, get a big win, get a knockout, say, hey, I'm back, I'm here, take me seriously. I want the winner of Jones versus Aspinall. But it isn't going to be easy against Alexander Volkov. No. That's the problem. And Volkov's getting better.
I like that it's in Vegas. It's on a pay-per-view card, so he gets to kind of get that broader audience, right? He's not fighting on a fight night in Paris, even though he's headlining, even though he's the big star on the show. Now you get to be getting all the eyeballs from it's just the more casual fans that only tune in for big pay-per-view shows. They're going to see you. And if you go out there and do something like Cyril Gane can do, then boom, people are like, oh, whoa, who's this guy again? Even though most of us haven't forgotten about him. We know who he is, but it's a great opportunity for him on a Vegas pay-per-view to really go out there and just re-cement, his contendership to everybody.
Yep. Very, very well said. Just quickly on Leon Edwards, what do you think about Leon Edwards? Opponent not announced. I think it makes total sense that Leon would headline London. Listen, he was the champ. He defended it 2 times. He lost to Bilal. Now the champion's trying to work his way back up. Said he's fighting in London. Didn't mention an opponent. I'm looking at the welterweight rankings right now. If I was to make a guess, and it is a guess, it's Leon, Kamaru, Bilal, Leon, Kamaru, Shavkat, Sean Brady, Jack Della Maddalena, Colby Covington, Ian Machado, Gary, Gilbert Burns. For some reason, I don't know why, I think Gilbert Burns. That's speaking to me. I think Gilbert Burns, Leon Edwards. What do you think? What's your pick? Because I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Gilbert's coming off some losses. Leon obviously just lost the belt recently. A buddy of mine, obviously, is Sean Brady, who's surging again as a welterweight. I think the only thing that holds that back from happening is that it's another grinder and wrestler type, just similar to Bilal, that might make that matchup not happen. But as far as looking at the rankings, I would say Jack Della and Sean, as terms of, people rising up to get that shot against somebody like Leon, make the most sense. But I think it's going to come down to what kind of fight are they looking for? What do they want? Especially since it's Leon in London, fighting in the home country. Do you want him facing a guy like a young Sean Brady who's going to try to get a hold of you?
You can't do that to Leon again. I'm like, what's your problem with Leon Edwards? You're going to take
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Bilal Muhammad. And you're going to have the guy loses to Bilal Muhammad. And then say, oh, by the way, your comeback fight is against Sean Brady. I would say, you can stick that up your ass. No, it's not. No, it's not.
But Jack Della, but when's the pay-per-view in Australia?
February.
Oh wait, Jack still dealing with an injury to like that infection in his arm and things like that?
I don't know. I don't know anything about the pay-per-view.
So that's they may just not have guys. That's where maybe further down the rankings then if it's not a guy like
So I think for the JDM injury, that's what took him out of the Shavkat fight. That has since healed up, and he has said that he fully plans on being on that pay-per-view in February.
Oh, really? Really? Because I was going to say Leon Edwards.
I'm telling you, I think it's going to be Sean.
And by the way, I'm not saying that Leon can't beat him. I'm just saying stylistically, it's a nightmare.
It's a tough fight coming back, fighting in hometown.
But to go from Bilal to him, go on, Harrington.
I was going to say, what about the winner of Buckley versus Colby? You're talking about, main eventing the Tampa card.
February, March. That's possible.
So you have the turnaround time. You have the build, all the pay-per-view stuff from Colby versus Leon. Or if Buckley wins, it's new blood. But
if Buckley wins 100%, I would love to see that. But if Colby wins, we just saw that recently. And it wasn't like the most entertaining fight. It was a shutout by Leon. Yeah, I'm sure Colby would love a chance at redemption, but anyway, right. We've been going for an hour and 40 minutes, Paul, and I apologize. We have taken up a lot of your time, so thank you very, very much. All the best this weekend. We're going to do a question in a minute. Anthony Smith, Mr. Lionheart himself, goes to war this weekend. I would say, should we do a live Hamilton and Bryan? But I'm going to be in Vegas. What am I talking about? Power slap. Then the 310. Oh, God, it never bloody ends, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
All I hear is that we're all going to Vegas to do a live.
Yeah. Hey, I'm still trying to get myself a ticket, let alone anyone else. If you got a question, please send it in to bympod@gmail.com. Whilst you're doing that, press that subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, tell your mates, retweet it on Twitter. Let's grow this show, boys. Come on. And girls, of course. Brian, do we have a question, please?
We do have a question. This is from a Scouse gentleman.
Okay.
What's happening, BYM team? It's Nate here. My question is for you boys, is Peter Yan just beat Figgy? So everyone's saying that Yan should fight O'Malley for like some #1 contender thing. Because I think Umar's going to fight Marab, so whenever that happens. But I think personally that O'Malley should fight Corey Sanhagen, because I think it's a better fight, to be honest. But let me know what you boys think. No Man Alive should fight Sean O'Malley before Corey Sanhagen, in my opinion. Anyway, thanks, boys.
No Man Alive should send the question in and be a bit nervous about doing it. He was a little bit. And by the way, Brian, that's not Scouse. He sounds like he's from my neck of the woods there. He sounds like Lancashire. I don't know, Blackburn, Darwin, somewhere like that, I'm going to say.
He sounded like Paddy Pimblett to me.
No way, nothing like it. Can you tell the accents apart, Paul?
I can't do them, but I can tell sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. It sounds nothing like a Scouse. And the
I like
question,
both those fights, though.
I want to see Corey Sanhagen, Piotr Yan. Corey Sanhagen, Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
pick?
one. If I had to pick what I want to see, I'm with him. I really want to see Corey Sanhagen fight a guy like O'Malley. I think that's a fight that just awesome wherever it goes. Both long, fun strikers. I think it's a great fight for somebody like Sean O'Malley too. You know, you just got the belt taken away from you from Marab. Now you got a guy like Corey Sanhagen who's a very dynamic striker. A lot of people are going to be interested in that. But Piotr Yan, I mean, I'll watch him fight anybody. I'll watch him fight anybody again, too. So if it's him and Sean O'Malley, I don't mind seeing that fight again. That was super close the first time around. So I don't care.
Yeah, but
sign me up.
And I echo those sentiments. So I've got nothing to add, really. Thank you for the question. Please keep them coming in. Just to recap, I think we're all aligned here. We don't disagree. We've got Pantoja, we've got Rakhmonov, we've got Cyril Gane. Of course, we've got Bryce Mitchell. We never spoke about Nate Landwehr, but it's the end of the show. I'm going to say Nate Landwehr, Nate the Train, choo-choo, mother effers, keeps it going. And Anthony Smith, may the force be with you. Go out there, whoop some ass, get the job done. That's it, boys. That's it, Paul. We will see you on Monday.